Ghosts aren't real. But the sound you heard in your kitchen last night, that was real. What if I told you the most terrifying stories don't involve spirits, but something much, much closer to home? Let me tell you about a case from Japan that will make you double-check every lock in your house. Back in 2008, a man living alone started to believe his apartment was haunted. It began subtly. Food would go missing from his fridge. A carton of juice he'd just bought would be half empty the next day. Then, things started moving on their own. The TV remote would be on the floor when he swore he left it on the couch. He felt a constant, unnerving presence, especially at night. It was as if someone was in the room with him, watching him sleep. The feeling was so intense, so real, that he grew terrified in his own home. He couldn't explain it. Was he going crazy? Was it a ghost? Unable to take it anymore, he finally called the police. The officers were skeptical, but they did a thorough search. They found nothing. No signs of a break-in. The locks on the doors and windows were secure. Everything was sealed tight from the inside. There was no rational explanation. Frustrated and desperate for answers, the man decided to take matters into his own hands. He bought a small motion-activated security camera and set it up in his living room, aimed at the kitchen. He just wanted to catch a glimpse of what was happening, maybe see a mouse scurry across the floor, anything to put his mind at ease. The next morning, his heart pounding, he sat down to review the footage. He fast-forwarded through the quiet, empty hours. Then, his blood ran cold. He rewound the video and watched it again, just to be sure he wasn't imagining it. At 2 a.m, while he was sound asleep just a few feet away, the camera captured something unbelievable. A small cupboard door, high up above his refrigerator, slid open, and a person crawled out. A small, thin woman he had never seen before emerged from the tiny space. She quietly walked over to his fridge, took out some food, and started eating. She drank his juice, watched his television on low volume, and even used his shower. Then, just before dawn, she meticulously cleaned up, climbed back into the cupboard, and pulled the door shut behind her. He immediately called the police again, this time with proof. Officers swarmed the apartment, went straight to the cupboard, and pried it open. Inside, they found the woman curled up on a small, thin mattress. She had been living there, just inches above his head, for a full year. She'd been a silent, unseen roommate all along. So, before you turn off the lights tonight and convince yourself that creak was just the house settling, maybe take a moment. Check the closets, the attic, the crawl spaces you never use. Because sometimes, the scariest things in life aren't the ghosts we imagine. They're the ones hiding on the top shelf. Thanks for watching.